A new species of coelacanth fish has been described by SMU paleontologist John Graff. This new species, discovered in Texas, is 100 million years old. It would have lived in the Cretaceous interior seaway, a wide, shallow sea that once divided North America. This new species is the youngest fossil coelacanth ever found in Texas. It's also the first fossil coelacanth from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Coelacanths still thrive in the ocean today. They have one of the longest lineages of any vertebrate. Coelacanth fish originally appeared in the fossil record about 400 million years ago.
The Texas fossil record for coelacanths is actually kind of sparse. We have coelacanths that are dated from about 300 million years to about 200 million years ago. This specimen is actually about 100 million years younger than any of the other coelacanth material that's been described from Texas.
They are the fish to which humans are most closely related.
Coelacanth fishes share a most recent common ancestor with all terrestrial life. These animals are the first fish to actually have bony support in their fins, and they can move each of their fins independently of one another. The full bony support of the fins is the predecessor to having limbs that would be functional enough to be able to provide support for the body, which would eventually allow animals to come up out of the water and walk around on land. They are very widespread globally, being found on almost every continent except for Antarctica. In the United States, we actually do find the youngest coelacanths in the fossil record, dating to about 70 million years ago. Prior to this specimen being described, the youngest fossil coelacanths described from Texas are from the Triassic, so they're about 200 million years old. Coelacanths reached their maximum diversity during the Triassic. During the rest of the Mesozoic, we see a decline in the diversity of the coelacanths, which led to the hypothesis that coelacanths had gone extinct at the end of the Cretaceous. This specimen here tells us that there were more coelacanths living during this era than we had previous records of. Not only that, but this specimen helped me tie a group of coelacanths together into a new family of coelacanths that are kind of a transition between the two large groups of youngest living coelacanths from the fossil record. What we're looking at right here is actually the underside of the lower jaw. So we're looking at it essentially as if the skull was upside down. What we're seeing here is the lower jaw. The remnants of the skull are these pieces here. So the total skull would actually be occupying this space around here. The front of the skull would have been right here, so the opening of its mouth would have been right about here. The gular plates are plates that line the bottom of the lower jaw, and the shapes of these plates were the first indicator that we had a fossil coelacanth. Coelacanths are not the only fish to have gular plates, but they are one of the few that do. And in fact, this lenticular shape to the gular plates is unique to coelacanths. This specimen was found in a marine limestone, which is unique for the younger coelacanths. So most coelacanths, dating even up into the Triassic, were actually discovered in what are known as continental settings, kind of freshwater settings. This specimen being found in marine settings, it shows this transition from being more adapted to freshwater sources to being more adapted to marine sources, which is a much different environment to live in. At the time, about 100 million years ago, this whole area was actually underwater in the Cretaceous interior seaway.